Hey everybody, my name is Mark. Welcome to church this morning. Thank you so much for spending part of your weekend with us. If this is your first time here, we understand that it's not always easy to visit a new church. So, to help out a little bit, we have some helpful tips for your time here at Living Word. If you're a mom who's nursing or just has a fussy kiddo, we have a quiet room available upstairs overlooking the auditorium where you can take your little one and still catch the service. We have ministries available for kids from birth through 6th grade. Classroom ages and locations are posted in the hallways if you haven't already checked your kids into their classes. Once service is over, classroom checkout begins immediately. That pretty much takes care of the kids, so now let's talk about you. We'd really like to get to know you, so if you haven't already done so, please fill out a Connect card from the seat back in front of you and drop it in the basket on the ledge of the control booth after service today. In just a little bit, we'll be taking up this morning's offering. Now, as a visitor, please feel no pressure to give. You're welcome to give whenever you feel comfortable or led of God to do so. If you want to give but forgot cash or a checkbook, we do have a giving page on our website, lwom.us/give, where you can give with a card or directly from your bank account. You can also give via text message from your smartphone. Just text LWOM plus the dollar amount of your gift to the number 59769 and follow the on-screen prompts. And hey, we hope that you join us again next week. We'd like to invite you to come a little bit early for some free coffee and donuts in the fellowship hall starting at 9 o'clock. Thanks again for joining us today, and here is the rest of the week's announcements. Missions. It's at the heart of the mission of Living Word to touch our world with the love of Jesus Christ. The more we can support those laboring for the cause of Christ by introducing people all around the world to Jesus, the more we're fulfilling not only our church's mission, but also the Great Commission, to go into all the world and preach the gospel to all creation. Now, where am I going with this? Well, there's an idea floating around to do a dessert auction as a fundraiser that would benefit our missions fund. The tentative date for said auction is May 30th, but that all depends on putting together the help needed to make it all happen. We'll need an auctioneer, a setup and cleanup crew, decorating people, kitchen staff, and so on. Oh, and of course, people to make and donate delightfully decadent desserts. So if this sounds like something you'd be interested in helping with, Kay Nelson will be in the foyer after service to get your name and to answer any questions you may have. We are in the final planning stages of initiating our small groups. We're getting leaders lined up, figuring out how the groups will be run and all that jazz. And then all of a sudden we think, how many groups do we need right away? Good question, one that we hope to answer today. So in the foyer after service, there will be some people with clipboards. These people are there to take your name if you are at all interested in joining a small group at some point. There's no obligation. We just need a general idea of how many groups we need to have right away from the get-go so we can have leaders, meeting locations, and all that figured out. So, if the idea of being in a small group interests you, let us know in the foyer after service today. We would like to wish very happy birthdays to Amber Vasquez, Kay Nelson, Corey Jordan, and Christian Vasquez, all of whom are celebrating their birthdays this week. Happy birthday, everybody. And here's the next 3 weeks. Love Spencer is coming up this Saturday, May 2nd. Our nursing home ministry will be going to visit Longhouse, Northshire next Sunday, May 3rd. And May 10th, we will be having Apostle Mike Keys guest ministering for a morning and evening service. Please remember to check your bulletin for more information on these and other announcements.
My name is Heather Lauk, and Todd and I were recently married, and we have 6 kids. I would say I'm just an average person who loves the Lord and loves church. And I guess I was saved maybe 10 years ago. And so I don't always feel compelled to share what I've seen or what I've, I guess, heard. But this time it was very edifying to everyone in the congregation, and I felt like I needed to share it. A few weeks ago at church, when they were appointing new elders into the church, during worship, I had a vision from the Lord. And during that time, I felt the Lord touch my hand, and there was a heat. And he touched my hand, and he said, "Heather, I need you." And he said, "Pray that your mission is clear." I was really moved by that alone. And then he showed me the rest of the congregation, and he was touching each person in the congregation, saying, "I need you, I need you, I need you." And it was every person in the church. And it was a huge rush of emotion. Then the next thing he showed me was this clear path through piles of, I guess what I thought was junk at first. And it was just stuff we accumulate, and it was health problems and cancers and marriage problems and just the normal stuff that people go through, that we worry about. And the Lord spoke to me and said, "Do not worry about these things. They mean nothing. I've overcome all of this. You can pray about it, but don't fret about it." And he said, "Pray that your missions are clear." And so I felt like everybody needed to know that everybody has a mission. Everybody has something that the Lord wants them to do. And it doesn't matter what you've done. And that was the other part that the Lord just so impressed upon me, was I felt like there were people in there that were feeling maybe not as useful as others, or feeling bad about themselves. And I mean, I've been through a lot, and I can attest that God can heal you, and he can bring you up, he can lift you up, and he can do so much in your life. Yeah, I still have normal problems that anybody else has, but with God, it's way different. And so I just felt like there were people there that were feeling like they weren't useful, and they are. And I feel like the Lord wants you to know that.